Time is up for your daily journal. Um, so, just to recap what you did on Friday, we looked at some. Don't pay attention to this. We looked at some movies and shows that had some bad endings. We talked about why they were bad, such as the live action Lilo and Stitch. Right? Compared to the original animated version, the ending is arguably worse because the whole movie has the theme of family, Ohana, but in the live action movie, Nani leaves Lilo behind. Nani gives Lilo up to DCS to live with David and his mom, while Nani goes to pursue her dream of marine biology in California. So some argue that, changing that ending ruins the whole theme of the movie of Ohana. And that's an example of a bad ending. Movie reviews are great because they are concise. They are straight and to the point. However, if a movie review isn't to the point, you usually stop reading. So when you write a review for something, you want to include as much information as you can, but while also being concise. Because you want people to read the review. Otherwise, why would you write the review unless you wanted people to read it? So most of you wrote your review on Friday. That was that 2 paragraphs you wrote on the backside. Today, we're going to be revising a little bit. And like I said, I want you to start playing with AI a little bit. It is a very helpful tool for writers. Not to do the work for you, but as a revision and an editing tool, it's great. The reason I had you do it this way is because if I let you type it in the first place, I didn't want anyone to copy and paste an already existing review. I wanted you to handwrite the review, so it's your words. Now I want you to type the review into an AI model. ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whichever one works on your computer and that you would prefer using, that's fine. Once you have copy and pasted it into AI, you're going to ask it to do a few things. First one, look for filler words that don't add facts or flavor, and they will show you some things that you can eliminate from your review. So if you can eliminate some words and it still makes sense, you should take it out. So for example, the reason why the ending was so bad was because, well, you can rewrite that to the ending failed because. So instead of going from 10 words, you go down to 4 words. I feel like the main character. You could just say the main character. We know that's what you're feeling. You're the one writing the review. The action test. So you can ask AI, find your is, was, were verbs, your main, simple verbs, and replace them with a single, stronger action verb. So instead of saying the plot was moving very slowly, you could say the plot dragged, because drag means to move very slowly. So saying the dialogue was really cringy, you could say the dialogue grated, because grated is a more extreme example of cringy. And then have AI look for your adverbs. Look for words ending in li. You're really, extremely, very, even though that's not ly. These are often crutch words. You use them to enhance, bless you, the adverb you're using, but there are better words to do it. So instead of saying he ran really quickly or he ran very quickly, you could say he sprinted. So saying the twist was completely unexpected, say the twist shocked. So you could get rid of some of those adverbs like completely and really and extremely. That was very bad. What's another word you could use for very bad? You say that was horrible. That was trash. And then just, cutting it down in general, count the words in your longest sentence. if you're not going to copy and paste the whole thing, I know some of you don't feel like typing all that, at least find your longest sentence in your review and ask the AI if it could cut that sentence in half without changing the meaning. So, for example, there are many different parts of the finale that didn't make any sense to the audience. That's 16 words. You can revise it to the nonsensical finale confused the audience to 6 words. Both those sentences mean the same thing. Once you have revised your review down the best you could, you went through all 4 steps, there's one last exit ticket that you're going to complete, and you could staple this onto your existing paper. So first thing you need to do is make sure your 2-paragraph review is finished. Then we go into revising, where you cut some of the filler words. You look for verbs that could be replaced with something stronger. You cut down long sentences to make them shorter. And the last thing you're going to do is summarize the entire review, all 2 paragraphs, into 15 to 20 words. So you wrote the review, you're all done, you've revised it, but you still have, 2 short paragraphs left. You're going to summarize that into 1 sentence, 15 to 20 words max. And that is what you would post. If you were to post a review, that's what I would want you to post, that 15 to 20 word max sentence. Is anybody confused by this? Anybody have questions? Yes. Yeah, go ahead. So, for example, have you ever seen the show How I Met Your Mother? Okay. Well, it's a show about a guy who's telling his kids how he met their mother. It's 7 seasons long. There's like 400 episodes. So the point of the show is to learn how the guy meets the mom, right? Yeah. You don't meet the mom till the second to last episode, then she dies. So does the ending fulfill the purpose of the show? Not really. Like, we wanted to know about the mom. We've spent this long trying to figure out who the mom is, only for you to do that to us in the end? Or even stranger things, like you wanted this big miraculous ending for a lot of your favorite characters, and they just don't get it. Some of them just go back to their everyday lives like all that didn't happen. Any other questions? Okay. I will be around in 5 to 10 minutes just to check on you, make sure everything is going okay, but this wouldn't be a writing class if I didn't give you time to write.